Hi, everybody. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas, Texas on Wednesday, February the 20th, and welcome to our video commentary. Well, we have a new candidate for president. Not a surprise, but Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont has now joined the group of Democrats who are seeking the nomination. Technically, and this is an interesting little thing that I've never understood, technically Bernie Sanders is not a Democrat. He's an independent. So he runs inside the Democrat Party, but he's not officially a member. Never really understood that technicality. I mean, I would think that if you're an independent, you wouldn't run as a Democrat, but I guess, he is. So I don't know, never really understood that. Last time around, we had the same problem with Bernie Sanders. He was an independent who ran in the primary. So I don't know exactly how that works out, but if I was a Democrat, I think I would be asking the question, why is this guy running in our primary? But of course, Bernie Sanders brings quite a bit to his campaign for president. He's done it before. He did it before. He did a great job, really, in 2016. He ran a very good campaign. He almost defeated Hillary Clinton. And I actually think that if there had been an honest primary, that I think he would have beaten Hillary Clinton, because the way the Democrats set up the playing field, they set it up so that it would be completely pro-Hillary. Remember the debates that they had, the Democrat debates were scheduled like at 5 o'clock in the afternoon during the NFL playoff season. I mean, who watches a debate during the NFL playoff season? Nobody did, which is, of course, the idea. They didn't want to expose Hillary Clinton to voters. They wanted basically Hillary Clinton to get as little exposure as possible before the election. But anyway, Bernie Sanders is back. And as I said, he brings with him a resume of having done this before, which is always very important. And he brings with him two other things, which is voters, devoted followers, and the ability to raise money. I mean, he raised a lot of money just right after he announced. I think he's got a couple of problems, though, that he may not be able to overcome this time around. Sometimes, in politics, you get one good shot, but you don't necessarily get two. The first problem that he has is that he's 77 right now, so he would be 79 by the time he's nominated. And if he wins, I think he would be our first president, our oldest president, actually, because Reagan was 79 when he left office. So he would be 80 when he took office. So I think that might be a concern for a lot of voters, to have a president who's that old. So that's the one thing going against him, his age. The other thing is that he doesn't add anything to the current crop of Democrats. In 2016, you could argue that Bernie Sanders was the guy from the left. But right now, everybody basically sounds like Bernie Sanders. I mean, you can take the entire crop of candidates and they say two things. Number one, we all hate Trump. They have to hate Trump. All of them have to hate Trump. And number two, they want to give you something for free that they're going to tax rich people for. So we're going to give you this, we're going to give you that, and we're going to raise taxes on the rich, which is, of course, a bunch of nonsense. There's no such way to pay for all these things. So I don't think Bernie Sanders is going to be as successful this time around as he was the last time. There are some new faces in the party, younger faces, that I think could be more attractive. And then there's also Vice President Biden, who I believe will be ultimately the nominee in 2020 for the Democrats. So what happens to Bernie Sanders? He'll run a good campaign. He's a good campaigner. One of the things that I like about Bernie Sanders, I mean, I disagree with the guy 100%, but one of the things that I like about him is that he's honest. I mean, what you see is what you get with Bernie Sanders. You're not really, he doesn't have to be anything other than Bernie Sanders. So that's one thing I like about him. He's very genuine, and I think people like that in their politicians. But I don't think he'll survive, especially if Vice President Biden runs. If Vice President Biden does not run, then I think all bets are off. There could be, it could be very difficult to get through the primaries because of all these candidates and so on. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to say the least. But Bernie's back. Bernie's back. And a lot of people are pretty happy about that, including those of us Republicans who may have to run against him. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Thank you for watching. We have all of these on YouTube, on Twitter, and on my blog. And if today is your birthday, happy birthday. Bye-bye.